Thank you, Tatiana. I want to let you know that Tatiana has worked very hard to put this program together and send all those wonderful invitations out. Normally, in this particular day, because of Sunday and also Thanksgiving weekend, not many people show for this wonderful occasion, the most important one actually. And it was mostly due to her effort that we have such a wonderful and large gathering. Thank you, Tatiana. Also, when I have to hold on it. From the right is in also, when Mike Longo was playing, some old memory came back. Many of you probably remember or have heard about the hand of cause, Mr. Olinga, a great man from Africa who came to New York. And I remember I picked him up in Kennedy Airport, and then as we were driving to Manhattan, he said, is John Gillespie in town? You know, his name was John Gillespie, but everyone called him Dizzy. I said, yes, I think he's playing somewhere in Manhattan. And he said, I would love to meet him. So I called Mike and I called his wife, found out where he is playing. We found out he's playing in one of the clubs in Harlem. I don't know the name of the club. What was that club, Mike?
Club Bear.
Club Bear, yes, right. It was a huge, big club. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we drove a few of the Baha'is, I remember my boss, a carpenter, and a number of others. We drove to the club, and of course I knew John Dizzy Gillespie because he was a big help to school that the Baha'is opened, Harlem Prep. And so as we entered the hall, I waved my hand to let him know we are here. And Mike was playing for him also that night. All of a sudden he stopped the band, and in his thick voice said, "Brothers and sisters, the lion heart of Africa." He said, "This is talking. Lingo is here, my brother." So all these half-drunk guests get up with their glass of wine or vodka and hi brother, and welcome him to the club. So we sat down. You won't believe this. Within 5 minutes, there were at least 15, 20 bottles of scotch and vodka on the table. This is a gesture when you go to a club in New York and you have a distinguished guest. The other people send a bottle of whiskey. And I was so embarrassed. Hand of a cause is sitting here. All this scotch and vodka is there. Somebody will take a picture. It would be, with my luck, it would be in Amsterdam News, you know. And I was sure they were going to blame me. Well, I have no question about that. So I called the waiter. I said, please take these bottles quickly out of tables and bring some ginger ale and Diet Coke. So thank you, Mike, for bringing some old memory back. She mentioned that I'm going to talk about Day of Covenant. I think there's going to be lots of reading on the subject of covenant. Not lots, good number. Also, Hillary and I, we have written a book about the covenant and Abdul Baha in New York, so you can spend $10 and read all about it. So what I'm going to do, instead, I'm going to share some stories with you. You know, this whole year, I have given many talks about Abdul Baha, and other people have, and they presented Abdul Baha as most loving, most charming, most grounded father and a spiritual leader. But nobody really mentioned what the great sense of humor Abdul Baha had. So I'm going to tell you a couple of stories that I was told about him, even though today actually my wife, you know, she come to New York once in a while, and of course she give me all kind of advice. She mentioned I should not tell too many jokes, and she even told me what I should say. Can you imagine? I have written a book, and she said, okay, this is what you're going to say. So I'm going to repeat a few lines that she gave me. So then after that, I tell you the story. First she said, say a few words about this Abbaha, a man who never went to school, spent 4 years in prison, at the old age, traveled all over the ocean, come to America, and within the short time, how he won the heart of almost everyone that he came across. And the stories of the people who fall in love with him and wrote about it is all over the place. The obnoxious New York Times reporter, Kate, who within the short time fell in love with him and went with him to Bowery Mission. The Kenny's family, McNaught, and all these arrogant white men that were really dominating the Baha'i community those days. Very soon,